Oh, there it is.
We're live. We're live.
We did
Welcome, everybody. We're here. We're ready to get started.
Internet.
Keep your questions till the end.
Just throw them at us. Just throw us a question. We're ready.
Chat.
Welcome to Incredible Critics. We are incredible not because we're great, but much like Ben's,
you're nowhere near here.
Our credibility should seriously be questioned.
Know what you're doing? Back it up. No. Who said you could ever talk first? What kind of
I'm
nonsense?
Tim Gruber, and joining us today is Andrew Moore, the intro guy. What's up, Andrew?
Oh my goodness.
Hey Tim, is there somebody else talking in this podcast? I can't tell.
And also, Frankie Fusco.
Franklin.
Hey guys, is that really the intro we're doing?
Frankenstein.
That we're going with?
Yeah, we did a tag team intro right over top. Boom, tag team.
That's gross.
You want us to keep going, Frankie?
Do the intro again.
I don't know. So far, we can do another intro. Ben, what do you say? Ben didn't say anything. I don't know. I think he didn't say anything because he liked it so much.
What is? Well, here we are, guys. Tim Gruber, Andrew, whatever his last name is, Frankie Fusco, and no Ben Franco.
And no Ben.
That's good. Another week without Ben, another week of chaos, and I think everyone likes it, and that's okay. Go ahead, Tuna. Keep talking when no one's talking to you. It's good. Go ahead. Keep doing that.
I was going to say, I could bring some much-needed organization to this
meeting. I don't think you could, no, because you've done nothing but make it more chaotic.
I tried to make an intro.
Since you showed up.
You kept interrupting.
You can't just jump in and start an intro, Tuna. Oh, my God. Tuna, what's been going on with your week? Tell me about it.
Besides being rudely interrupted by Sir Franklin, I've been watching high schoolers play football again.
Epic.
And I'll save the rest for what's on.
Oh, okay. Tim, what's new with you this week?
Oh man, so much is new, so much, and yet so little. Honestly, not much at all.
Not much at all. Okay. Well,
what about you, Frankie? What is new with you?
What is new?
No, don't open that can of worms.
Oh no!
Yeah,
oops.
It's gonna be rough. It's a good story.
Ben told me not to ask.
Yeah, no, never ask. No, nothing's really new. Just work. Been going through a lot. I'm trying to find new podcasts to listen to because I've been listening to the same like 10, pretty much every week. And
got any good shout outs?
Not yet. I'll throw some out there when I find them. Right now it's Halloween, so I'm looking for some like spooky ones or like legend stories or
spooky ones. Like Serial, but it's spooky.
Not like True though. not like I'm worried about like someone being in my truck when I get in there in the middle of the night because I drive to work at 4 a.m. No, more like like ghost stories or things like that. But I have not found any. But once I do, I will let everyone know and we'll do a shout out. Speaking of what we're listening to and what we're watching, let's go into that. See if Ben can plug in that horrible music and we can talk about what's on.
Oh my goodness. My guinea pig has flipped his house over. And then now he's pushing it across the entire cage upside down and jumping in it.
If only you could see this, folks. It's absolutely riveting.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if the mic is going to pick it up. Now he's in it, and now he's trying to climb out of it like it's a giant.
It's almost like he doesn't want to be trapped in that cage.
And that's what's on in Tim's house.
What's on?
Tuna, let's start with you real quick. What have you been watching? Anything special?
I've been watching a variety show on YouTube called Good Mythical Morning. It's with the YouTubers Rhett and Link. I don't know.
Good one.
I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with them. Been watching a lot of their stuff lately. I kind of go on and off. I let them stockpile a bunch of episodes and then I just binge a bunch of them. Besides that, I was rewatching, and I can't remember what I was rewatching. So
Dead Air. Everyone loves Dead Air on a podcast.
So good. It was that good. It's left you speechless.
Speechless and mindless.
Hey, you watched something though. What did you watch, Frankie? What's on at your face?
You know, finally, TV shows are coming back on. You know, starting
Teen
up again.
shows? Is that what you said?
TV shows, not teen shows. Though some of them are teen shows. I won't lie. I do watch my fair share of CW shows. But no. You know, you guys realize that? Is it just me, or is TV coming on later and later? Like, I feel like new shows used to start in like September, and now it's like mid-October. Watch the season.
I don't watch
of the
anything when it's on, so I haven't noticed.
I don't think they do sweeps week in May anymore. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that could be it. Yeah. So I mean, I've been catching up with some of my new shows that came back on, like the Goldbergs, Modern Family, Fresh Off the Boat. Some of my go-to watches every week. Besides that, I have watched a couple of things that we'll talk about in a little bit. But let's let's talk. Well, actually, I'll go into it right now. Let's just do that because apparently Tim has to go flip the house over for the guinea pig. One things I finally watched was the DC's Titans. Andrew, you're not going to be one to be watching this because it's way too mature for you.
It's hard TV 14, or is it actually?
No, it's a TVM. That's for sure.
Actually, no, I knew that. I saw the trailer for it. It looks rough.
It's so this is, if anybody doesn't know, it's a new imaging of the Titans, which is a comic book, which pretty much is the sidekicks of all of the DC superhero world. Real quick, if you go back, I don't know, a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago, when we first talked about the trailer that came out for it, Ben and Tim totally against it, thought it was gonna be horrible. I had some promise for it, and let me say it's too early for me to decide the answer to this. The answer to that question on if it's gonna be bad or good, because not much was answered in the first episode. It was definitely a pilot episode where we just found out, you know, pretty much each character and a little bit of their background. Some of them we didn't find out any background for. But so am I gonna say it's gonna be a horrible show? No, it might be okay. If I was to give you an answer over one episode, chances are it's gonna be pretty bad. It was just, and this is coming from me, a guy who likes more mature, more darker TV shows, especially with comic books. It was too dark. It was too dark. It was too bloody. It was just way over the hill.
It just feel to me the trailer looked like they were trying to make something out of nothing. Like,
yeah,
they're trying to make it edgy just for the sake of being edgy.
Right, and that's kind of how I felt when you were watching it. What made me really annoyed is that, like, comic book fans want to see shows of their comic book heroes, and they want to see the things that they love about those heroes brought to life on the TV screen. So what drives me nuts, and we'll talk about it later when we talk about Venom, what drives me nuts is when they do something completely different. Like, you can take a dark character and make them dark. You can take Deadpool, Logan, make them very dark movies, and rated R. When you take some characters who don't have that, you wouldn't take Spider-Man and make a rated R Spider-Man where he's super,
right,
emo and killing everybody and there's blood everywhere, because it just doesn't happen.
I don't know, super emo. That kind of sounds like I would make a good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, definitely not. So, and what I don't get, what really is driving me nuts, and Tim, maybe you can give me some insight what you think about it, but like, DC knows that this isn't working. You know what I mean? You can look and see it didn't work for Superman, it didn't work for Batman, and they're clearly changing it with things like the new Aquaman movie. Way more color, so much color.
Color and fun
and jokes,
just having fun, even if the jokes aren't great in the trailer.
And Shazam, Shazam looks amazing, looks tons of fun, family friendly. It's just like the character the way it's supposed to be. Lots of color again. This TV show was just so dark.
Yeah, I'll
color
say
wise and material wise, and the script just wasn't that great.
I've heard that kind of same stuff from a lot of people. I think it's fun. It's funny because I think that with the movies, they're trying to get it back. They're trying to get the magic back. I mean, it's clear to me when they show a trailer for Shazam before we see Smallfoot the other week in the theaters with the girls. you know, it's a kids movie, and they're done by WB Animation, and they're showing trailers for Shazam where they maybe edited out a few words from the trailer, but other than that, you know, my kids were like, "Is that Superman? Why is he a kid?" It was funny.
It's great, and that's the way they're going. And that will hopefully help them and be more like the Marvel franchise, where they can make more money with their movies. But it's just to launch your DC online streaming platform, and you choose this show, and this is the way you write it and produce it. I think that was a poor move, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Speaking of your kids, Tim.
Yeah.
They watched a movie this week, didn't they?
Yeah. What was on at my house was on Sunday afternoon, because Sunday afternoons can be real crazy at our house. Sunday afternoons usually end up being like our family chill time. We try to chill, maybe watch a movie. And so my girls were so pumped because we told them on Saturday, as long as they were on their best behavior, we would watch The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Episode 5. And
my
so,
favorite.
yes, so good. So we had a ridiculous amount of fun doing that. And if you follow me on the Facebook, maybe we'll post a link or something. I ended up kind of like live tweeting the whole thing on my Facebook page, and hilarity ensued. One the girls, a common thing that I didn't put a ton of on here, but it was just too funny, is they just kept they just, you know, they know who Yoda is. They were like, "Oh, he's gonna find Master Yoda now. He's gonna find Yoda," and he gets to Dagobah, and then they're like, "Okay, that's him. Why is he acting so weird? Why is he so tiny? Why is he eating bugs? He's eating snakes. He's trying to dig through other people's stuff. That's weird." They just kept going. Every time it would go back to Luke and Yoda, like they're training, and the girls are like, "He's so tiny. He fits in a backpack." And then they were trying to figure out, like, I wonder who played Master Yoda. Like, how did they fit a person in that makeup? I was like, yeah, he was a puppet.
That's
so
amazing.
You girls know what puppets are. But what else? Yeah, they kept making jokes about, like, maybe Yoda ate Luke's flashlight that he stole from him. Why is Yoda eating bugs and snakes? Nobody said that. That's not, you know, there's a snake in his house or whatever. They're like, he eats snakes.
So yeah, they liked it.
Yeah. Oh, they loved it. There was a whole argument about like who was weirder than Yoda or the Emperor, who they only saw for a minute. And so
that's a tough battle, though. I see where they're getting at.
Yeah, the debate. Yeah.
I like how they said Vader's chair is cozy.
Yeah. Right. Adeline is like, he has a cozy seat to sit in that the first scene where you see Vader in his like pod thing that opens up. And then right after she says that, he stops talking to the one guy and turns to the screen and like force chokes a dude through the view screen. And Adeline, our youngest, is over there like giggling, like, he got him. Like, you kids need therapy. What have I done?
That's amazing.
I mean, everyone loves a good force joke.
Oh, so good. They were talking about how it looked like Luke got a purse out of the X-wing on Dagobah before it sunk.
Why not?
I mean, it does kind of look like that. I can see that.
Yeah.
They were both woke back in the 70s.
Oh yeah. They were like, he brought a purse to the planet. Yeah, they kept coming back to like, why did Leia kiss her brother Luke? Her brother?
Oh yeah, I guess it's totally different when you know about that.
Yeah, they knew that. Yeah, so and I'll say, like, they've been spoiled by all the big things through Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
So there was also points in the movie where Yoda's like using the Force to raise the X-wing out of the water, and they're like, "What's he gonna make with the Force?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "You know, like in the Lego." Oh,
yeah, they don't really build.
They don't master build in normal Star Wars.
In their eyes, Lego Star Wars might be better. Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean,
they might not be wrong.
It's definitely less weird. So yeah, if you I did a hashtag on Facebook, hashtag Gruber Girlies Watch Empire. So
Go check it out.
maybe we'll share a few of those throughout the week.
Andrew, what have you been watching?
I already shared what I've been watching.
Oh, you did? I must have not paid any attention to what you're talking about. I thought
Good
I thought you said I was going to talk about it more.
Good Mythical Morning and a show I rewatched that I couldn't remember.
We can blame the guinea pig because in the middle of that, I had to go.
We can. I can just blame Andrew's tone that slowly puts me to sleep as he talks.
Good Mythical Morning.
Speaking of putting stuff to sleep, Frankie, Netflix canceled something and you wanted to talk about it, didn't you?
Oh, you're just the king of the segues today.
I told you I'm trying to bring in this,
if only your internet connection was
tale, the creator and original king of segways drove a Segway off a cliff. So.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
That's
pretty sure.
At least you didn't. Oh yeah, I thought you said you drove a Segway.
Oh no, no, the creator of the Segway.
I was going to say, you know what's impressive? The creator of it did, and he died, and you're alive. So I mean, you should run a Segway.
Oh
no. Yes, Netflix, we can touch briefly on it in your news real quick on what's on. What is no longer on is Iron Fist on Netflix. They have officially canceled their first superhero original show. Now, that being said, Danny Chase is not gone forever. We will still see him in cameo appearances in Jessica Jones.
Who's Danny Chase, Frankie?
Did I say Danny Chase?
Who's that?
Did I say Danny Chase?
Yeah.
My bad. I confused Vince Chase and Danny. What's his last name?
Chase.
That's from Entourage.
Oh, Danny Rand.
Danny Rand. Yeah.
It's like, what?
I don't know how I did that. So Danny Rand.
Confused characters.
I mean, they're both kind of idiots. Danny Rand will be back in Jessica Jones and Daredevil, and also the Defenders, which has already been.
Well, if they do another season of Defenders, it's like not greenlit yet.
It's not greenlit, but they're gonna do it. I think the first season went over pretty well.
I kind of just want Heroes for Hire, because the Luke Cage episode that had, or episode and a half that had Danny Rand in it, was awesome. And I just great. I want to see these dudes being totally weird.
What's sad is that I thought the second season of Iron Fist was a lot better than the first season. I also thought that it was better than the second season of Jessica Jones. So I don't know. I mean, to each their own. We'll see what happens. It was just a matter of time. They weren't getting as much views as they should have been. But the characters will still be back. Well, one more. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say a weird thing with that too is like they released it and almost told nobody about it. Like we've been seeing Daredevil teasers and trailers and marketing now for weeks and weeks and weeks, maybe months. We've been getting a little bit at a time. And with Iron Fist, it was like, oh, here's a trailer. It'll be coming soon. Oh, it's out this week. Surprise. Oops, no one watched it.
They at least got the right thing going with dropping the episode number. So hopefully that's something they continue to do with the rest of them. One more thing we wanted to touch on real quick, something I'm kind of super excited about. There was a teaser trailer for Disney's Aladdin.
Yes.
Ben's going to plug it right here. That's part of the teaser trailer. So we did not... because this was a teaser, we did not see much. We saw the big cave with the tiger head.
It's called the Cave of Wonders.
There we go, Cave of Wonders, and we saw Aladdin grabbing the lamp. That is it. That is
we saw Iago. We saw Agrabah.
Well, we saw a shadow of Iago.
We saw sand dunes.
And we saw sands. We saw a lot of sands.
It was good.
This being said, I'm curious. Are you guys excited for this movie? Not excited for this movie? Is it something that you'll take your children to, Tim? What do you guys think? I'll start off. I'm very excited for the movie. So far I've been very impressed with all of the live action Disney movies. I know a lot of people had issues with Beauty and the Beast as far as Emma Watson's singing voice, and just I loved it, but I also hated the cartoon version, so I feel like that, was an easy win for me. And I love Emma Watson, so it's an easy win for me as well. I can get past her pretty bad singing voice. And just the rest have been really good too. So I'm excited for this one. Aladdin was one of my favorite movies growing up. I think I knew
Same.
all the words to all the songs.
Yes.
Watched it over and over and over again. So I'm excited to see. And to be honest, I think out of all the ones they've done so far, this one makes the most sense that can be a live action movie.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think, Tim?
No, I'm also hyped for it. It's funny. There was one year I can remember. My sister's birthday's in October, right? And I was little enough that my parents were like, maybe we need to get Tim like a consolation present so he doesn't get upset. And they got me the Aladdin like 12-inch action figure.
Nice.
And they got
That should still be a thing. Every time
they
your
got
sister
her-
has a birthday,
Oh yeah.
Mom, where's my consolation present?
That's what I'm about to do. Yeah, her birthday's on Halloween, so be like, "Where's my presents?"
Here's just
So-
a present.
Here's some candy.
But no, I mean, like Aladdin was so awesome. It really was awesome for us because it was like a Disney cartoon that was not a Disney princess movie per se. Like a Jasmine is a key part of the movie, but it's about Aladdin. It's Aladdin's story.
true. It's
And
true.
so
It's very, very
Jasmine
much
might
a
be
star boy
Disney
first.
princess, but it was like the first movie about the guy and his life, and that was cool. That was cool when we were kids. So I'm hype.
I agree. Andrew, anything to add to that?
So I have mixed feelings. I'm mostly excited for it. The only reservations I have are just the idea of taking animated movies and making them live action, unless they're going to do something different, like add some new songs or go more in depth with certain parts of the story. I don't really see much of a reason for the translation to live action outside of it just being, hey, this is a good cash grab and it's an additional art form that we can portray this story in. Like, that's all good and fine, but is it really worth it when there's plenty of other really cool projects you could do? Again, that's if they didn't change anything. It's just kind of shot for shot remade live action just for the sake of being pretty and having music. If they do add some extra songs and stuff and other things, I think it'll be fantastic. I wasn't like crazy about the new Beauty and the Beast, but I didn't dislike it. I thought it was decent. I love the music from Aladdin though, so I am really excited for a reimagining of that. The music in the trailer was fantastic.
It will be interesting to see how the music translates. I wonder if the singers, if they do a better job with the music opposed to with how they did with Beauty and the Beast. I have to say I kind of strongly disagree with you, which is not a surprise, but it kind of is, because normally I don't disagree with you this much, but I think I'd be more upset if anything was changed, if they added something to the movie. Like, I want to see.
I don't mean change the story. I meant
you said add
depth with certain things.
You said add songs. So adding songs to me is changing. Like, I'm okay with the shot by shot kind of the kind of thing with the Disney movies.
Did you just?
I want to see the Disney movie. I want to see the Disney movie portrayed. I'm not saying that I'll be mad about it, that it's gonna be bad if they add something, but you make it sound like you want the kind of a different story.
I don't want a different story, but like going more in depth with certain characters and scenes that we had in the animation. Just like, sure that there were probably some deleted scenes or tossed out ideas in the classic that might translate better as a live action film. I don't know. That's just
I think it's just cool getting to see the cartoons you grew up watching turned into real life, as long as they do it the right way. But I mean, we'll see.
That's fair.
We'll talk more about it when the actual trailer
It
comes
doesn't
out,
interest me as much as all I was saying to have it simply be that.
Hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong. You know what I mean?
Have you guys, question real quick for you guys, have you guys seen any of the stuff from the Disney Broadway musical of Aladdin?
I have not, but I heard it was really good.
Well, yeah. Well, so I bring it up because I'm pretty sure that they're grabbing a few things from that to pull in. Like the genie, Will Smith might not necessarily be blue. Now he did tweet out the teaser poster or whatever with like, just wait till you see me blue or something. But I don't know if that was a joke or if he was serious.
That brings up a good question. And the last thing we'll talk about this before we move on, because we have to keep going.
Yeah.
Does the genie make or break this movie for you? Does it ride on Will Smith's performance?
I don't think it necessarily rides. I would tell you the genie absolutely will be not Robin Williams' genie.
Yeah.
They've already, like, even with the Broadway version, it's a very different genie. It's more like something Will Smith would do in the Broadway version. So as long as if he's great, it's gonna go a long way. If he's not great, yeah, maybe it does make or break.
I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, yeah, I think it does make or break. I did steal that question. Nerdist News put it out, and I was just like, I thought it was a good question.
Plagiarism.
Yeah. Well, I put them in the bibliography, so we're good.
Okay, good. Hashtag
all right.
Nerdist.
Tuna, yes, no.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm trying to picture Will Smith as the genie, and it's such an odd thought in my head. Not that I love Will Smith, but it feels just like an odd casting choice.
Yeah, I would say go. You guys should go, and maybe we'll put some stuff out on the page this week that are links to some of the Broadway musical stuff, versions of like Never Had a Friend Like Me. Totally
different.
It's a very different song. It's like it has the same lyrics. It's like a slightly different style. So check it out.
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
I don't know. It's gonna be a personal taste kind of thing, whether you think it's good or bad. But
all right, moving on. We are going to talk about real quick a spoiler-free version, and then we'll dive into a spoiler version of Sony Marvel's release Venom, starring Tom Hardy, directed by Ruben Fleischer, the same guy who directed Zombieland. Ben, play quick clip. I couldn't say that. Quick clip. There we go. Okay. Real quick, spoiler-free version. Tim and Tuna, you haven't seen this yet, right? Okay,
nope.
Perfect.
He shook his head for the audience at home.
Sorry, I was eating a tortilla chip.
No, you're good on mute. This is great.
He's trying to mukbang kind of thing in the background.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can be quiet for this.
Oh, great. Real quick, Tim, tell me one on a scale of 1 to 10 where it fell. 2, a movie you think it was worse than, a Marvel movie you think it was worse than, and a Marvel movie that you think it was better than.
All right. Maybe a 6.
Okay.
A low 6. IGN 6 out of 10. I would say it was better than Spider-Man 3. I would say for me personally, it sits just lower than pretty much all MCU films. That's where I'd put it.
That's fair.
I'm not going to go see it.
That's fair. Okay, would you recommend someone going to the theaters and seeing it?
I mean, I would say diehard Venom people have probably already seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still doing good in the box office. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a diehard Venom guy, but
so it brings a good point. So to answer those questions real quick, I give it a 4 out of 10, maybe a 4.5. I say 4.5. I'll be a little more generous. It's definitely better than the third Spider-Man. It is definitely worse than the last 2 Spider-Mans that came out. With the
Amazing ones.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man. And that it's probably tied with the second one that came out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe right the same as Amazing Spider-Man 2.
So Spider-Man is hands down my favorite Marvel hero. I'm actually rereading a bunch of the comic books right now. on the Marvel app, and I'm just like binging through them, and it's been amazing. And I
Yes.
love Spider-Man, and because I love Spider-Man so much, Venom to me is the best villain that has ever been written, and that can be definitely argued, but he's my favorite villain, and he's such a cool character. And this is kind of in the same sense that we were talking about earlier with Titans. What killed this movie is that it wasn't rated R. It's a dark character. It's meant to be dark. He eats people's heads. That's what he does, and he does it in this movie. But he does it with screen cuts where you see people's reaction to it. And what drove me nuts is Sony's had such a good run with things like Deadpool and Logan, where they can make a rated R movie, make it good. It doesn't have to be a horrible rated R movie. It doesn't have to be something that people can't watch, but this was just silly. Like in parts of it, it seemed just like an action movie that there was Tom Hardy and he was playing Venom. Like it didn't seem in any sense. There's like car chases and bike scenes, and I can get past the whole changing the storyline of Venom and it not being the same as the comic books, but getting back to what we were talking about earlier, you want to see your comic book heroes or villains come across on the screen the way they are in the comic books. That's what makes them so successful. And that's what it's proven has made a successful movie. You look at Deadpool, you look at Logan, those two movies are based right off of the comics, and they do a great job, and they did really well. I don't think that it's, this is doing decently well. It's a fun ride, I guess. Tom Hardy does a great job. I love the banter between Tom Hardy and Venom, like in their head.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of where it ends for me. It was Venom is black. I'm not sure if like he's all black, if no one's ever seen the costume before, with white eyes. And I'd say 95% of the movie is filmed at night in the dark. The movie's so dark. Why? Why is everyone doing dark things? It's driving me nuts. But
you wanted it darker. Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
I wanted the tone a little bit darker.
Yeah.
The story a little bit filmed in the sunlight.
Yeah, it definitely struggled like what it wanted to be. The movie struggled with that. Like you said, the tone overall was like, at 1 minute, it's like kind of a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Monster comedy. And then another minute, it's like, no, this is an action movie with superhero stuff.
And then there's like, is this a horror movie? There's like weird lab scenes where you're in the dark and things bouncing on the walls. Like what is this? It felt like it was filmed, it was written, filmed, rewritten, filmed again, and then they mixed all of that together.
Yeah. And I'll say, I think they made sure it was a PG-13, if only because if it was a success, and I don't know what they're going to qualify as a success,
right?
If it was, that they would want to wrap Spider-Man back into it somehow,
right? Yeah,
or create a bigger universe out of it somehow,
right? And they said that, but I think you could still do that with making a rated R movie and then just making Venom in the Spider-Man movie less rated R. Maybe that's when you do the crazy cutscenes when he bites someone's head off.
I mean, look at it this way. They can always take the R stuff out later. That's what Deadpool's going to do.
Exactly.
Right? Deadpool's going to re-release for around Christmas time as a PG-13.
Perfect.
With more footage and different jokes. That sounds actually hilarious to me.
I will watch it.
Yeah.
I will. I mean, okay, so that's really it for Venom. I thought we were going to do a spoiler version too, but I think we went through that whole thing really well without even spoiling anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to be said,
There's not really much to spoil in the movie. It kind of goes the way Tim's face makes me think that the guinea pig has now destroyed his house again.
He almost flipped his house over again. I don't know what's going on. He's acting real weird.
Live in that house.
He's got a house in his cage, okay?
He's got a house in his house. You give the guinea pig everything and he just wants freedom? I don't understand. Wakanda forever.
Do you work for PETA, Frankie?
No, I just don't really like guinea pigs.
Wait, you don't like guinea pigs, so you think the guinea pig should be free?
I do. Listen, I think he should mind his own business. We should mind our own business. That's for the PETA podcast. We'll do that later. All right, guys, that has been it for another episode of Incredible Critics. Andrew, tell us where people can find us.
If people would like to find us, they can on facebook.com/incrediblecritics or on Twitter @3criticspod.
Oh my God, you suck. You're supposed to plug the iTunes page, dude. iTunes. we get nothing without.
Nobody
we get
listens
nothing
to
without.
iTunes. Nobody listens to
No one
iTunes.
listens to our
Apple
podcast.
It's all on the
Net.
social. It's all on the social now.
.iTunes.
How do you think we get ratings and go up in the charts, and so other people see us? It's iTunes. You have to.
Hey,
Give us
we
a
have
rating.
an Instagram.
If they want to see us, they can watch us on YouTube or on
God,
Facebook.
you're an idiot. You lost it. I thought you could do it after last week. You said that you could do it, and you didn't do anything. You were so close. I actually was like, "Wow, I was wrong. Maybe Andrew could do it."
It's easier
Guys,
to
don't
trigger
forget to
Frank
go onto
than I
iTunes,
thought it would be.
hit subscribe, leave us a rating. That helps us get out there to other people. We really appreciate it. Until next week, guys.
Nailed it.
It's
Someone
so
nailed it.
easy to get Frankie triggered. It's great.
You know, neither of you shared the Instagram that I didn't know existed until today.
I meant to say something. Yeah, Ben made us an Instagram a while ago, and when he first made it, I was like, "That's stupid." And now I see that every other podcast has it and posts things on Instagram's
I'm
become
like, why are we doing that?
it's become like way more popular than Twitter, which is kind of crazy. So we probably should update that more and Twitter less. Not that we update Twitter at all.
Can't
I don't
share
know, maybe Ben can
URLs
get
in the
on it with
posts,
some of
though,
his free
which kind of
time.
sucks.
What'd you say?
You can't share URLs in the posts, for unfortunately, though.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's annoying.
Yeah, there's other weird magic you have to do.
Hey, you can do like a swipe up, right?
Yeah, swipe left
Swipe
for
left.
Incredible Critics. Is that right?
No, I think
I
it's
don't know
right.
how it works.
How do
so.
your dating sites work, Tina?
Actually,
Nice
hey, yeah. Speaking of which, thanks for sticking around after the credits, ladies, because we have a proposal for all of you,
Uh-oh. Please
and
tell.
that is like one of our main goals of this podcast now is also to find that special someone
Oh my goodness.
For Andrew?
for a guy you know and we know as Andrew the Tuna Moore.
Some
Not-
of
Not
y'all
big
love me,
tuna, just
some
the
of them
tuna.
hate me. Them being Frankie.
If you have a homely friend who's single and enjoys, you know, I don't know, pretty much anything boring and high school football, then let us know. We can hook her up with Andrew. He's looking for exactly that kind of person.
Frankie, I understand you're frustrated that you can't have me, but you don't have to go on and do it like that.
I'm just trying to help